Following the sacrifice, a great festival is held in the streets of Cape Coast. 1,000 people make up the parade and 1,000 more look on. Dozens of chiefs from regions all around the country have arrived to be honored. The festival has lifted my spirits, and I am carried away by the crowd. Imagine me, a little old Bruni, dancing in the streets surrounded by a sea of obi beanies. The women are delighted by my dancing, cheering and clapping me on. Their colorful dresses become a blur as they twirl around me and join in the dance. In the onlookers, I see arms raised with 2 fingers waving at me. I am filled with pride to know this sign means a good dancer. In this moment, I feel like white and black have been lost in a sea of swirling colors. Nearly 5 months has passed since I began my journey. Returning home to Accra by Tro-tro, I wonder how I can leave this place now that I have struggled to learn how to live. How I can leave the stench of soggy sewage gutters, the brightly colored tro-tros with religious admonishments on the back, the corrupt politicians and the money grubbers, the wrought iron gates burning red in the heat. To simply leave after fighting through the narrow eyes and catcalls to see this place as home. The cracking plastic-coated signs, the orange-painted taxis, the sweet soft humming of hymns in the night, chattering of foreign tongues on sun-cracked radios shimmering through clouds of heat-borne dust, half-finished buildings already rusting in the humidity. The harsh, itchy difference has faded like stained laundry in the sunlight, leaving only quiet comfort within the clatter of well-worn footsteps. It's the soft, dry ache of flaking feet at night and the twice-handed-down shirts on half-naked children. The separation that was gripped forever, squeezed like a swollen fruit, has vanished like the vendors on the streets at night. They've all gone, like I have. Only now, I'm not sure if I'm really moving towards home or leaving it behind in tracks of sun-scorched soil, sighing in the heat. And then, everything changed. I arrive home to find a young woman from our student group has died in a Tro-tro accident on the very same road I traveled this day. My mind is reeling in confusion, anger, sadness. How could this happen? I came back to Accra, unaware that as my eyes scanned the dry landscape, I might be looking at the place where she died. Everything feels different. It is hard to stay here now, knowing that every time I board a Tro-tro, I will know that could have been me. I'll always remember that I returned home, but she was left behind. Looking back at her death, years later, when feelings of anger have faded, I grapple with the idea of her death as commonplace within this culture. Tro-tro accidents are the most common cause of death in Ghana. In fact, 3 other Ghanaians died in the accident. And I know now that death sees no color difference. Any disconnect I experienced from people's lives and their concerns here is erased with this realization. I belong when I have no special immunity for being foreign. This equal vulnerability acts to define the status of a member from an outsider. I am the same as people I once thought of as different from me. Death has united our lives here. I began my journey with a box full of jumbled puzzle pieces and no understanding of life here. Now, the pieces fit together and I can almost see the whole picture. And what I am beginning to understand is that the things that challenge us the most are the things that both change us and teach us the most. I underwent difficult experiences and emotional trials, but what I gained was a greater understanding that is impossible to get unless you go through it yourself. All of it becomes worth every hardship when I realize I now have 2 different ways of looking at the world. The picture may be incomplete, but it means everything to me because it means, in some small way, that I belong. I once wondered who I would become here. I know now that I am a Fia, Friday born.
Thank you, Jesus.